Hey everybody, I'm Wes Brownlee.
I'm Sean Moscow,
I'm Tyler Brownlee.
and the candy shop.
Is now open.
Whoa, that was cool.
Hey
Your
man, you gotta
lips?
get a little flexible, you know what I'm
Not
saying?
as
I
good as
mean,
Yeah.
though,
Yeah,
or
no,
whatever the
oh
fuck it
the
that one
was.
was pretty good.
I
That
just,
one's sick, the water droplet.
I just
I
can't.
used to be able to do this thing where like I hold my hands like this. Oh,
Oh, you just look stupid doing that. For those
oh,
watching on YouTube,
100%.
it's going to be great visuals.
Hey,
So the best
hit me that, hit me
visuals.
You look like a seal.
that. I
Or,
feel like a
or,
seal. I feel
you,
like I could balance. I feel like I can nail balance in my nose.
what?
So as we step into April, one of the biggest things that's on everybody's mind is the end of the March Madness tournament. First off, did you guys make brackets?
Absolutely.
Oh,
I made two.
yeah. I didn't touch that damn thing anymore.
How is your bracket performing, Sean? What were some of
Phenomenally.
what were some of the big picks that you had that like you look back on now and you're like, why did I pick that?
Um, well, I had Memphis going a lot farther than they did. I had Memphis going to the Elite Eight, and they lost in the first round. And looking back, it was, I mean, who would have thought that they would have lost to Colorado State? Um, I certainly didn't. I at least thought that they were going to get past them, so I didn't expect. I would have at least picked them to go to the round of 32, and then if they would have lost, I would have been like, okay, that definitely sucks. But I was very delusional having them go to the Elite Eight. Looking at that team, they played like absolute dog water. Penny Hardaway, I mean, I love the guy, but boy, does his team need some help.
No, 100%. I also had them going pretty far in the tournament, right? Like I think I'm looking at my bracket now just so I can give you like the full rundown.
Hmm.
I had Memphis going. I had Memphis going to the Elite Eight.
Hmm.
Uh, you know,
Lose to Florida,
Sweet 16, Sweet
Sweet
16.
16. Okay.
Lose to Florida for sure.
Yeah.
But I think looking back on it, right, I think it's my lack of college basketball. It's probably the reason why I wasn't able to predict that. But
Oh yeah.
I also thought they had a very solid season. I didn't see them losing to Colorado State at all. I feel
No.
like Colorado State's one of those schools that's just not very good at sports in general. So
No.
I was hating.
They're
Yeah.
too busy doing all the other stuff.
No. Colorado State. Like what?
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Just Colorado things, I think, is the safe one to say there.
That's fair.
Skiing. They're too busy enjoying snow sports and luging and bobsledding.
There probably is a lot of all that going on.
Oh, 1,000%.
Another
But
one that I'm really surprised about is how well Kansas or Arkansas did through the tournament.
oh, okay. See, like I was surprised, but then I remember that it's Coach John Calipari who's coaching the Arkansas Razorbacks, and now I think
Hmm.
seeding them as a 10 seed was a. I think they were seeded too high. Is that or too low? I think the 10 seed they should have been like an 7 or 8 seed instead of a 10 seed.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Um.
there were a lot of seeds that were kind of off this year, though. Like, not just them,
Oh,
but please continue. Please continue.
yeah, no, 1,000%. Like, I mean, looking at like, I think Baylor and Mississippi State, like those two seeds should have flopped. I wouldn't consider that an upset game because Mississippi State was not good enough to be an 8 seed, but I think Baylor, the way they played, at least, definitely deserved to be a higher seed than 9. Um,
I saw a video of an old man like destroying his house when Mississippi State lost.
that sounds
Mm.
like
Um,
that sounds like a Starkville guy right there.
at what point in time is that just like disgustingly ugly? Oh my god, my team lost. I'm gonna destroy my house.
Nah,
Like,
it's just
right?
bad.
Like,
No
Not
reason for
yeah,
it.
not gonna lie, like those videos of people like crashing out, punching their TVs when like their
oh,
team loses. It's just
cry
kind of
about it. I
like,
don't know.
dude, you can grow
Like,
up a little bit. You can
like,
grow up.
please, for the love of God. But I get
Uh,
it. I get it. I've crashed out over less important things, probably.
One
No, I
time, this is
agree.
really bad. My worst crashing out. I
Oh
was
God.
playing. I think I was playing NHL, and I like was just getting my ass whooped online, and like I just said, "Oh fuck," and like stepped or slightly kicked my drywall because I did not want to burst a hole through my drywall and ended
And
up
then you
bursting
still
a
did?
hole fucking like the size of my head through my
Mm-hmm.
drywall in my rental of all things. So I was very pissed off that I had to fix that. And I didn't even do a good job fixing. There goes the security deposit.
Now drywall is surprisingly thin.
Oh, but yeah, like it shattered like that. Because I was not like gonna smash kick it because I was like, I don't want to break a hole through my drywall, but I want to lightly hit something.
I want to
I
fucking
want to fucking
give
just,
something a tap. Oh
I
my
want to give
god.
something a really forceful
Mm-hmm.
tap, and just shattered, just went like a piece of
Yep.
paper.
No, like a small piece of drywall is also just so annoying to fix. You either have to
Mm-hmm.
patch it or you have to take off the whole piece of drywall, repaint. Like it's just a bitch and a half.
Yeah, and the
You
wall
really
was
had this
like
problem before.
textured material, so it was super hard to like get it perfect.
Yeah, just not ideal.
Yeah, just
Just not
don't
ideal.
punch shit. It never worked. You end up just spending more energy fixing it than you would have if you just calmed down.
Dude, I saw a video. Oh my
Mm.
god. I saw a video of this dude who was like walking off a court and he was, I guess, really upset. And like, bro, like screamed and then punched a wall and shattered his hand.
Ugh.
What
We
the
had
fuck are you doing? It's a game, man. Like, I love passion. I love like watching soccer players score and like you can tell that like they have just like made like their like life. Like, you know what I mean? Like they have
mm,
passion. But you gotta have some self-control, man.
right.
Like, your hand's now shattered. And it
Yeah.
looked like he was playing volleyball. What now, pal? What are we
No.
doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Nah.
No, 100% agree. You gotta control the crash outs. But at the beginning of the 2025 March Madness tournament, it was really shaping up to look like it was going to be a pretty well-rounded tournament where there were going to be some upsets. But after seeing where we are now in the Final Four, all of the one seeds are in the Final Four, which is only the second time that's ever happened, which is an insane stat. But not
Mm-hmm.
Are
just
we
that,
already
there
in the
were a
Final
couple
Four?
upsets.
Oh yeah.
Really? I had no
Well,
idea. I
Are
can't pay attention.
already at the Final Four.
What are the last four teams?
take a
They
guess.
are. Yeah,
I,
take
I,
a
No,
want
I
guess.
like
I want to
this.
hear
I
you
like
guess.
this. Let me guess. Let me
I want
guess.
to see you
All
guess.
right.
Do you want to hear the
Um,
Elite Eight, or do you just want to wing it?
I just want to fucking wing it. I don't know any of these teams. I'm not gonna lie. So I know it's not Alabama. We talked about them already losing. I know it's
Right.
not State. You know. Isn't UConn good? Is UConn in there?
UConn is not in there. They were out
UConn
in the
lost.
second round this year.
They
Mm-hmm.
fucking suck. Kentucky
Kentucky was out in the first round, and I think it was the first ever time they went out in the first
ever
round.
been out in the first round? Fuck, I don't know enough colleges. Um, is one of the schools a Texas school?
One of the schools is from Texas, yes.
Is it? It's not Tech.
It
No.
is not Tech. They lost
It's
in the Elite Eight.
it's not A&M, is it?
It's not
Mm-mm.
A&M. I do not believe they were in the tournament.
Texas
Fuck
Tech,
the
A&M.
Aggies.
I don't know any other Texas schools, guys.
This is a
Tyler,
tough
just
one. It's not your
if
usual
you name one
Texas
of the
school.
three major cities in Texas, you'll get one of them by default.
Phi
Dallas,
Slamma Jamma
Not
is a big
Dallas.
Austin.
hint.
Not Austin.
Nope. It's on the coast. Big city.
It's hot. Kevin's moving there.
Fourth biggest city in the country. Did he freeze?
Fuck yeah.
No, he's alive. He's alive.
He's alive. He's
Oh no, I
alive.
never froze. I was just thinking. I don't know Texas states. I know there's a state name. I know there's a city named Tyler.
There is a city
It
named
Dallas.
is
Tyler.
close. It's close to Tyler, I guess. Also, I'm gonna fact check myself. Kentucky actually made it to the Sweet 16, so
So they did get past the first round.
they got past. It was Kansas who was out in the first round for the first time ever.
Oh, interesting.
That's who it was.
I don't
UK,
know.
KU, you get it back.
Same
Tyler,
difference.
how do you not know like the next? It's like literally the fourth biggest city in the
Fort
country.
Worth.
No, that's next
No,
to Dallas.
starts with an H.
The stars are bright. Wait.
Homosexual land.
That's not it. It's ends with an
Houston.
Houston.
Houston. I don't know the name of
Houston.
the school. What is the name of the school?
Houston.
Houston.
University
That's
of Houston.
crazy. Hey,
I
wow,
said
hey,
if you
hey,
just guess one of the cities,
One of the
hey,
cities. There you
hey,
got
hey,
it.
hey, hey! I'm not a geographic fellow. I'm not a
there is
geographic
another
fellow.
school. There is a you can name a state and you will get one of the schools as well.
All right, we got Arkansas,
Nah,
Nope.
Alabama,
Nope.
no. There is a
uh,
school from Alabama, but it's not Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
uh, Tennessee.
Nope.
No, they lost
Damn.
to Houston.
Uh, Kentucky. No, we already talked about Kentucky.
Mm-mm.
What other states we got? Florida State.
The other one.
Bang.
The other one.
Okay, just not Florida State. Just
Florida.
There you go.
yes.
Gator Chomp.
All
There
of
you go.
Florida.
University of Florida, the
University
Gators,
of
Oh,
Florida.
U of
which
are
I
any of
think I
these
think at this point they're
schools
favorites to win.
Yeah,
are any
I
of these
have them.
schools above like the middle of the
One
United
of the
States?
schools is in North Carolina. It is
Oh,
close.
Duke,
It is
UNC,
Duke.
Duke.
Duke. See, I should know that.
Duke.
I fucking
Duke.
live here.
Mm-hmm.
I think the final, from what I'm looking at here, in my opinion, is going to be Duke, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I have Houston winning the tournament, but I've also seen Duke and Florida both play, and I think they're just better teams than.
Yeah.
I
Florida's
just
done.
don't like watching
Oh,
basketball. Like,
well,
I
no,
feel like, and it might be because I'm a soccer player, so like I like build up. But there is nothing more annoying than watching somebody run across the field 1,000 times and score. I feel like there needs to be more build
1,000
up.
times.
no,
There needs to be
I
more build up.
understand. I
And
get
that
what you're saying.
stupid,
3-point line.
why does it take 27 minutes for the last 2 minutes of the game to finish? What type of America bullshit is that? It's the same thing as fucking football. Why are we taking I need a timeout. I need a timeout. I need to go jerk myself off in the bathroom. I'm sick of this. Just finish the
Yeah.
fucking game. Lock the fuck in. Be better.
NBA's had a huge problem with viewership this year, and they're trying to figure out
It's
how to
just
fix it.
boring.
Yeah, it's extremely boring, and it's like,
Give me Bron or Curry, and I'm happy.
well, then half the time they're gone. LeBron hasn't played
Mine
more than 50 games in like the past like 3 seasons.
No, there's a reason he's
He's
still
my
going
goat.
until he's 40. And I'll
Right.
100% agree with you, Sean. Like, I think NBA basketball does not matter until the playoffs, anyways, right? Like, you
Mm-mm.
don't have to watch. There's no negative
Fun.
consequences for teams that don't win. They just get a better draft pick.
Right.
And you watch the games, and the players don't care until the playoffs. All they care
No.
about is the natty.
Yeah.
Because it's
I
what you're
will.
playing for.
And also, the other reason why NBA viewership is down, their games are on like 7 different streaming platforms, and you have to pay to access all the games. Like,
Yeah.
there's no, like, you can't just hop on cable or Fubo and watch a basketball
The
game
cable.
anymore.
Mm-mm.
You gotta pay for like 4 different subscriptions just to watch any of the games, and that's why viewership is down, because they got fucking greedy.
Hear
Mm-hmm.
me out. At what point as a society do we stop frowning upon piracy? I mean, hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
I've never frowned
I
upon
love
piracy. Illegally stream this podcast. I
I
mean,
think I
damn.
used my high school Chromebook to pirate more movies than I did to do work.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I watched every Marvel movie. I watched Get Out. I watched every Indiana Jones movie.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, as soon as Chromebooks came out, I don't know how the fuck I passed school.
Dude,
All I was
so many
doing
cool
was
movies. Dude,
watching
I
shit.
was
Oh my
watching
god.
movies in class. Like,
I wasn't taking it home and watching movies.
No,
Oh
my
my
first,
god.
like,
I had an AirPod in one ear, and I was watching movies on my Chromebook
you did the whole, like,
in
this
class.
move.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, you
up the
just
AirPod.
Bro, I
you,
miss having long hair for that one reason. It would always cover the
Aw.
pods. It was always covering the pods.
That's why we couldn't have long hair.
it
We couldn't
is.
have
Really? They
hoodies
didn't
or
let
long
you?
hair. Or no, I went to a all boys private Catholic high school.
Hmm.
We were very strict.
You like
But we,
boys.
nah, that's another.
Boys.
I love boys. But no, that's a whole nother topic. I would love to talk about, public school versus private school. Because
Dude, I
I'm,
fucking loved public school. Oh my god, that shit was
oh,
electric, dude. It was
nah,
so fucking fun.
nah. But,
Oh my god.
no, anyway, I'd like to change basketball, like to make basketball overall more fun. I would incorporate changing on the fly to where you just sub in and out of the bench, no waiting for the time to stop. And then I would include less timeouts, especially in the second half. Maybe keep the 7
Why
or
do you
5, forever. Like, you don't need that many. You do not need that many. 14 timeouts per game is way too
Too
many
many.
for a sport that already the play is dead every 2 seconds.
What is the purpose of a timeout?
It's to strategize.
Strategize. If you're strategizing 7 times a game, you're a bad coach.
No, literally
Why are you
the only
strategizing more than at the start of the game and the middle of the game? You already
Exactly.
did. You already
no,
have 4 quarters.
there's a reason. It's
Why is there
because
ever a reason to stop?
there's a more there basketball and football are more have more emphasis on coaches than a sport like soccer or hockey do.
That's stupid.
Where like your coach can set out a plan in soccer, but if it's not working, you got to change it on the fly.
Right.
In basketball, you get the timeout to change the game plan if you realize that it's not working.
That's
The
stupid.
timeout is there to try to give you a competitive advantage, but it just makes the game end up being more unwatchable. They need to do like what the MLB did and create like the pitch clock. You know how they did that?
No.
Pitch clock was awesome.
So Tyler, basically
I
they
did
made it.
see somebody wearing One Piece shoes and a One Piece like thing on their elbow. I don't know why you wear something on your elbow for.
It's
Because if you get hit with a 90-mile-per-hour base, you ever hit
if you
your
get
funny
hit in the
bone?
elbow, Tyler, with a 90
You ever
mile
hit your
per hour
funny bone?
fastball,
That shit is done.
it's done.
Do you swing? If you're right-handed, do you have your arm behind the bat?
If you're right-handed, you swing with your left hand, with your
Forward, your
left
left hand,
like a
elbow
golf club,
facing the pitcher. Yeah.
Yeah.
like a
So
golf club.
yeah.
Yes.
So technically, like your vulnerable hand is not getting injured, but this is your catching hand.
Dude, so
Yeah.
many teams have been doing collaborations with One Piece. It's so cool. Oh my
No, it
god.
is.
Well, yeah, they did
Borussia Dortmund did it. The Lakers did it, dude. It's so sick.
No, hey, look, it's a good collab because you're just known worldwide. You know it's going to have commercial success.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course. It's the largest fucking comic that's come out. The only thing that surpassed it is Superman. It passed Batman in sales all time.
Wow. That's kind of remarkable.
If
I
you have
100%
not
agree.
heard of anything or watched any of One Piece, Sean, I could not stress enough that there is a reason why this show has 1,200
1,000
episodes.
episodes. Oh yeah. Here's the thing. I can respect the beauty that is Mount Everest, but I am
Doesn't mean I'm
nowhere
gonna
in
climb
the
it.
position. Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm going to climb it right now. Like, and I think that there's great things about One Piece, and I love anime. Like, I do not have the time though to start and finish a
It's so
1,000
good.
episode content media.
I completely
So
understand. But I think that's the problem with shows these days is you watch them to finish them. When I like for example, what is your favorite show of all time?
How I Met Your Mother of all time.
If that could have 1,000 episodes, would you watch 1,000 episodes?
I would do my damnedest. Yeah, but
And that's how One Piece is. You know what I mean?
yeah. Oh yeah, like I have no doubt that it's good. Like and I'm sure it is fantastic. And maybe one day, with my teenage kid, we'll watch it
Yes,
together
bro.
and we'll ball out and bond over it.
You got to be careful though. Can't get children into anime too quick, or they'll turn out fucking weird, man.
That is fair.
Yes.
That is fair. You gotta wait for
Turn
that
out fucking
right.
weird. You gotta wait till they're like a senior in high school and be like, all right, peep this shit real quick.
Peep this shit, literally. I started watching anime my senior year of college, believe it or not.
Mine was senior year of high school, right around when COVID started. I watched like the entirety of Naruto, and like,
COVID
because I
was
feel like I just thought it was so weird until one of my buddies was like, "Yo, just watch like the first few episodes." And
because I don't like Naruto, but it takes one anime to get you hooked.
It takes one. That's all it is. It takes one. For me, it was Black Clover. What a fucking banger!
Ooh,
Oh my god,
Haiku.
what a fucking banger! Haiku, so
Haiku's for
good.
me.
Oh
I
my
was like,
god.
wait, this
I
is just a
slept on it
cartoon
for
about
so
volleyball
long.
players? Like, there's no special powers. There's no
Dude,
extra weird boss. It's just kids that love playing volleyball. Hell yeah, I'm in.
I slept on it for so long, and I finally peeped it recently. It's so good. Oh my god. But no, back to the sports.
Back to
Yeah,
March
I was gonna
Madness.
say, Tyler, you still haven't guessed who the fourth team in the Final Four is. You got Florida, you got Duke, you got Houston. Well, you didn't really get Houston.
What hemisphere of the United States is it in?
It's a school in Alabama. I already revealed that to you. I doubt you even know this.
Very
school is
bold
in
of you to
Alabama.
assume that I know schools in Alabama.
It's an SEC school.
Why the fuck? I don't even know what that means, Sean. I love living in my own little rock of not knowing a goddamn thing about colleges. It is phenomenal.
They say War Eagle.
Their mascot's also a tiger.
And it's not
What the fuck
LSU.
is that gonna do? Is it Clemson?
Nope.
No, they are in South Carolina. but we'll get to Clemson eventually.
We will get to Clemson
And you said it's
eventually.
in Alabama. Is Auburn in Alabama?
Yes, sir,
Auburn
it
is in
is.
Alabama.
Is Auburn the team?
Yes,
Auburn
it
is the
is.
team.
Yeah,
Auburn Tigers. War Damn
Yep.
Eagle.
And
Wait,
speaking of Clemson, the bracket this
War
year
Damn
seems to
Eagle.
favor a lot of underdogs, with a few lower seeded teams from power conferences sneaking onto the radar. Now, McNeese State is not from a power conference, but oh boy, were they the power team of the year. I think they had more social media traction than any other team I've seen in male college basketball. Women's college basketball, very different. You got Paige Beckers, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. We're not just watching because of one person, we're watching because of her too.
Mm-hmm. That was so funny.
You didn't even mention Cameron Brink.
Cameron Brink was injured half the season, and she kind of got drowned out because she wanted to stay away from the drama. And honestly, Caitlin wanted to stay away from the drama too. It was just Angel. The only reason why people know about Angel is not because she's a good basketball player, but because she's there for the drama.
I would probably
Not
agree
gonna
with
lie.
that.
I equate Angel Reese playing basketball to like Sexy Red showing up 7 hours late for a concert and only giving her fans a 10-minute show.
She showed up 7 hours
I saw
late.
that. Yeah.
Concert was supposed to start at like 6 p.m. She showed up at 1 a.m., did
What the fuck?
a 10-minute set, and then left.
What the
And
hell?
if I'm one of those fans, I'm never listening to Sexy Red again. Also,
I'm no
why is
longer a
anybody
fan.
ever listening to Sexy Red in the first place?
Also,
It's like,
why
why
would
would anybody ever watch Angel Reese? The
what
Brick
the
Barbie.
fuck? The Brick
Frank
Barbie.
that's crazy. I've only ever seen like 2 clips of Angel Reese ever. And they were meant to be bad clips. You know what I mean? Like somebody put it online. Um,
They were misses.
but what I can say is that I have seen Caitlin Clark ball the fuck out on numerous occasions. Now, once again, these videos were meant to glaze, but when you have 1,000 videos of you being glazed and you have 1,000 videos of you
Yeah.
sucking wieners, I mean, there's a clear discrepancy somewhere.
Yeah, no, I think my favorite TikTok account is some of those Angel Reese hate accounts. Like during the WNBA season, it's
What
like
Oh,
is
they were
this?
just
no. Yeah, I'm sure y'all have seen it. It's like Angel Reese NBA Part 10. Angel Reese long 2 hits the rim, bricks, bang. They do it though.
So
It's like
fucking
just a
funny.
whole it's a whole video of her games highlights. It's like Angel Reese running layup, no problem, bang, misses.
this.
Like wide
That's
open.
crazy.
The account name is Stat Stuffers.
Stat stuffers. Interesting.
Do they stuff stats?
Yeah, I was gonna say. What do they do?
Well, no, it's called that because they think she's a stat stuffer because she just misses her own layups and gets her own rebounds
Gets her own
multiple
rebounds.
times.
That's
Hey,
actually
I
insane.
mean, she's getting the rebounds though, so
She could be
it's more than
missing and not getting the rebounds. It's
yeah.
better than the alternative, but if she would just make her layups, she would
She
probably
wouldn't
be
have to get
averaging
a
a
rebound.
significantly more amount of points.
Memphis couldn't grab a
Points.
rebound.
But
Points.
we keep dancing around the story of the college basketball tournament.
Boys, this is gonna be a crazy. No. This is gonna be a crazy question here. Bear with me.
Okay.
Bear with me. Please bear with me.
I'm ready.
I'm going. Feel free to clown me. Is there a women's March Madness?
There
Yes, and
absolutely is.
UConn has dominated that tournament for years, but recently South Carolina has won a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like Cox?
The
Go
Go
Cox.
Gamecocks, baby.
Gamecocks, baby.
But you know who broke UConn's 100? What was it? 114 game win streak.
Wasn't it Mississippi State?
It
I
was
know,
Mississippi State on a last second 2-pointer
it
in OT.
was. It was. No, I was gonna say. I know that Paige Beckers was like the first ever 40, 50, 90 player in women's college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Explain that to me in layman's terms.
Okay, so she shot 40% from 3, 50% from the floor, and 90% from free throws.
That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy stats. Like
I'm probably
that's
10, 5, and 2.
I think you can probably make more than 2 free throws out of 100. I would put money on you, Tyler, making more than 2 free throws out of 100.
Out of 100. I could give you that. I think you make
dude,
3. I think you get lucky.
Max,
think-
max, I get 25.
Because here's the thing, you would make the first two immediately, and then you'd be like, oh, I got this in the bag, and then just start bricking them up, granny shot, one-handed, miss 80 in a row.
Start shooting like Shaq.
Yeah, start shooting like Shaq.
Is Shaq not a baller? I thought Shaq was a baller.
Shaq was a baller. He just couldn't shoot free throws to save his life.
There
He
was
didn't just granny style that shit.
I think he did, and I think there's a video of him just chunking it up like that and him missing.
Nah, I think one of the best memes that I've seen, it's like a popular meme too. It's like Shaq got a boat and he posted on Instagram or something, and he said, "What should I name her?" And somebody said, "You should name her free throw so it never sinks."
That's hilarious. That's
funny.
hilarious. Oh my god. No, I saw a funny video of Shaq. Dude was, I don't know how the fuck this showed up on my TikTok, but he bought a car, and then this guy shows up. He's like, "Yo, your car's here." He goes, "Who the fuck are you?" I didn't buy a car. No, like you ordered this car. I don't know what you're talking about. Come see this car. I don't know. I didn't buy a car. He goes up the car. Oh, I bought this car. It was the same car. It's so funny, bro. I want to have money like that where I bought a car. You telling me I bought a car?
Shaq is the ultimate bag getter. I can only respect his grind.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
moved to
100%, bro. I
LA.
love seeing that man in commercials. Holy fuck.
Dude, when I see that boy on like the General commercials and that boy saying the low quote rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
Oh,
When I see Shaq say that, bro, I'm not on General Insurance, but I like their commercials because you get to see
it
Shaq.
makes me want to get on General Insurance, and that's the point of
I've
marketing.
just heard that General Insurance is just kind of the worst.
Oh, I've heard it's ass. I don't even think Shaq has General Insurance.
No way he
Dude,
does.
Shaq has insurance we've never heard of, dog.
Oh, yeah.
Like, let's be so for real. But yes, fellas, it's time to finally get to the main topic of conversation here today.
Mr. Aura.
Mr. Aura.
So lit. How can somebody like it's such a even and as you can tell, I have paid negative attention to any of this entire tournament, and I could tell you about Mr. Aura. It's so sick.
Not genuinely like. Again, it's one of those questions where I have to ask my parents, like, why did you make me do so much homework? Like, why couldn't you have just made me care more about being a manager for a team I wasn't on or never gonna make? I personally, I don't think I have enough aura to be him, or else this podcast would have been way more poppin' than it is.
Oh, it will be. Don't worry. It will
Gotta
be.
give it time. Gotta give it time.
I'm just so impressed that he can rap every lyric to these songs except the ones he can't rap perfectly every time. I also love that bro got NIL deals for being a manager. I also love that dude transferred schools to get better NIL deals. Yes, he's no longer McNeese State's manager. He's going to NC State, baby.
Go Wolfpack. Woo!
He is now a Power 5 school.
Wait a second.
Wild.
I'm still hung up on this. He can rap every word of the songs. I'm lost on that.
Imagine, Tyler, you were trying to rap every word to a Future song. There are certain words you cannot say.
But he was saying them?
He was not saying them.
He was saying
I'm
it so.
confused.
And these are songs that are difficult to rap as well, without slipping up once, if you know what I'm saying.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Bro, holy fuck. Chris said the funniest thing to me the other day. What did he say? Instead of I'm picking up what you're putting down, holy fuck. Oh my god, it was so I'm gonna spend all this time remembering. Y'all can keep yapping. What was it?
Yeah.
It was like I'm licking up what you're spitting out or something like that.
That's insane.
It's so funny, bro.
That's insane.
I can't remember what it was. Oh my god.
But no, like, look, I wish all the best to Mr. Aura in his managing career. I really think he's got a long managing career ahead of him.
You don't think he's gonna flop?
I think he's kind of in one of those positions where, like, it's going to be hard for him to flop. Unless those floors get real wet and those jerseys don't get clean, like, he's going to have to put in a lot of effort to flop at this point. Because bro's got the $200K NIL deal from B-Dubs, the $200K NIL deal from somebody else. Insomnia Cookies. That's who it was.
Another inquiry.
Yeah.
The fuck is NIL deal?
So NIL stands for name, image, and likeness, and it's basically what allows college basketball and college athletes to get paid now. Companies will say go to a Caitlin Clark and say you are very popular. We would like to pay you the bag to be in our commercials and endorse our stuff. It's how like Livy Dunn makes money off TikTok. It's how like all these athletes that you see get very popular are making so much money because before this they weren't allowed to legally. You had guys like Johnny Manziel who were still doing it illegally, but now college athletes can make a significant amount of money, and they can also transfer schools to get bigger deals, which is a question I want to ask. I know Sean probably has some opinions on this. This year, I think we really got to see how, because being like 4 years into NIL deals being allowed, this is the year where I think it had the most impact on the tournament. So, how do you think NILs and the transfer portal ultimately played out in this tournament to make the Final Four the way it is now?
Like I think with NIL this year, it was a huge game changer. I don't know if y'all saw that graphic of all of the sports of the Elite Eight teams and where their starting five originally played college basketball. And
Yeah,
it
it was
was
like I think I'm thinking of the same one, right? It was one from like 10 years ago where they were
mhm.
all from the same school, and then this year it was like I think besides
Purdue and Duke.
Purdue and Duke were like two teams that didn't have that problem, but every other school had like what more than half their players start at a different
Um,
D1 school.
yeah, I think they were lucky if they had one of their starting five started at that school.
Yeah,
And I think what NILs are doing, it's great for the players, but it sucks for the small schools. Um, and I wish, honestly, I think the NCAA does a lot of things poorly, and I think the NIL deals and handling that has been bad. Because now it's before it was we're making money off of amateurs and not giving them a cent or not allowing them to make money. I think that there should be a cap on the transfer portal.
hmm
I kind of think that you really maybe shouldn't be able to take your NIL deals away from the school. Like, I think that because all it does is just hurt small schools, and you're just going to
Mhm.
create a monopoly on the Power Five, and the Power Fives are, I mean, the Power Fives are better, or better run schools, I would say, or bigger schools is probably a better word. But I still think that like a McNeese State, it's like the kid instantly left. And you
and
shouldn't,
he wasn't even a player.
and he wasn't even a player. And it's like I think you should be able to go. I think you should be able to go and chase your bag as an individual,
Mhm.
but the NCAA needs to get into their deep pockets and compensate those schools that are losing out on these guys. They need to
Yeah,
offer them more money. They need to give them more, you know, facilities, or they need to give them, better clothes or stuff like that, better food for their athletes. Pump up the schools because these schools are like a McNeese State. If you were to go there and tour, and they say, yeah, we have a 2,000 person gym. We work out in the same gym as the swimming team and the water polo team and the football team. So you're going to have to fight for workout shifts. And then you go to Duke and they're like, yeah, we have our own building for basketball. And it has
Mhm.
3 workout rooms. It has a sauna. It has a hot tub. It has, you know,
Ice
3 practice
fans.
cores. Yeah, it has all this bells and whistles. Like I'm going to choose to go there because that's going to be the better for me. Well, then I think the NCAA should compensate a little bit.
yeah.
And whether that's scholarships, whether that's, TV deals, I think that would be, kind of a better option. Something,
Yeah.
something better to compensate. Because
No,
NIL does just ruin the game, or are going to ruin the game for
I
schools.
100% agree. I don't think it's necessarily the NIL deals that are the problem, right? I think it's the transfer portal itself. I think what college basketball needs to do is they need to do one of two things. Because most NIL deals are run through the school. Like, yes, there are a lot that are individual, but like, say you're a lower level basketball player and you're just barely starting on, say, like you're not starting, you're like a role player on an Arkansas. you're still making a lot of money because the school has NIL deals set up. I think schools need to have like a cap on the amount of NIL money that can come in. Individuals can get their own NIL deals, but the school needs to have a cap. So, say like somebody transfers from one school to another, saying that one school is going to say, "Oh, I'm going to give you this much money in NIL," because they can just go get more because they're a huge school. Can't do that. Every school has a set amount of NIL money they can distribute to their teams. So it's not like schools can pay these players extra. The individuals can get more deals from these other companies. That's fine. But the school can't pay them more. Or they do it like a soccer style transfer where there is a fee that you have to pay the other school. So say I'm at McNeese State and I want to transfer to Florida. If Florida really wants me, they have to pay a fee to McNeese State to compensate them for the talent they've just lost.
Transfer windows.
Transfer windows. And that kind of already is a transfer window because like not many people are moving in the transfer portal mid-season. But I think that's just
Is
a
there
way
a difference between transfer portal and transfer window?
the transfer. So like basically, Tyler, the transfer portal is just a fancy way of saying that a player has put their name up to switch schools.
Okay, that's what
And
you're
schools
saying.
can like compete and offer them individual deals to get that player to come to their school. But there's no money that goes to the school they're losing. It's just the other school saying, I can pay you this much to come here, or I can pay you this much and give you this much housing, and I'll give you a Lambo and a chain, right? Like, it's the
Oh, you
schools just,
couldn't pay students to come to your school.
well, you can't now with NIL.
Oh, I
Right.
understand. I
That's what
understand.
I'm saying. Like, schools should have a set limit on how much they can offer players in the portal.
Right.
Bro, then why did Lori McLaughlin fucking go to jail because she paid for her kids to go to extra for her kids to go to school? Is that not just the same shit?
No, because that was paying for admission into a school.
I'm bribing you to let my
She
kid
was
in.
paying the school to let them in. Now it's like a scholarship. Just instead of free tuition, you get a Lamborghini and a chain.
Right. Because before it used to be the only money we can offer you to come to our school is $10,000 in scholarship. Alabama can offer you $150,000 in scholarship, but we can offer you 10,000 because we're a small school. Now it's, I can buy you a steak dinner. I can buy you a Lamborghini to come to our school, and Alabama is only going to buy you a gold chain because they're trying to go for the 5-star recruit quarterback.
Yeah,
So now you should come to our school. That was kind of like the point of it.
Yeah,
But it ended up just being like, okay, I'm going to go get my Lambo, play a season, and now I'm going to transfer to Alabama.
yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna
And
get
now
my
I get to play for
Lambo.
Alabama.
Then now Alabama's offering me the house, so I'm gonna go get the house. And yeah, like
It's just you're
there is a
just
whole lot that
Money
goes on.
hungry.
So I think it's better for the enablement of the athletes, but I think overall the competition is going to start to suffer. And I think we've started to see that with this season, given that all four of the number one teams, some of the biggest spending in NIL, some of the biggest spending in the transfer portal are in the final four
mhm.
and dominantly too, right? Like
Alabama won a game 113 to what, like 67?
88.
88? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Still, I've never seen 100 points in a college basketball game in my
No, me
life.
They're
either.
shorter, right?
They're 8
They're,
minutes
So
shorter than NBA games.
mhm.
theoretically.
Yeah,
But
they're two
no, look, in like
15-minute halves.
That's it?
Yeah,
no 2 20-minute halves.
two 20-minute halves. You're right, two 20-minute
Oh,
halves.
I was gonna say, what the? That's still so short. You play
Mm-hmm.
40
Yeah,
minutes? That's it?
I
Mm-hmm.
mean NBA games are 4 12-minute quarters. Not that different.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basketball games are not long on like time. They just take forever because of the
They just take forever
timeouts.
because of timeouts.
This is why I don't watch sports. This is why
Mm-hmm.
if I'm going to watch sports, it's going to be soccer, because I get to watch 45 minutes straight of playing, and then, oh, here's a 15-minute break. Let's watch another 45 minutes.
Yeah, and the 15-minute break is the perfect time to like go to the bathroom, cook breakfast. Like that's the best thing about soccer too. Is it's the first thing you do in the day. So it's not like it's when your day is busy. It's always on the
Mm-hmm.
weekend, and it's always at like 10 a.m. when you don't have
Mm-hmm.
much planned on a Saturday. It's
Mm-hmm.
incredible.
I can see the after work going to watch a game and having a brewski, though. Like, that's nice.
Yeah, look, I mean, all these games are great to have with a drink. But as far as the players go, I don't think they're doing much drinking. I think it's pretty clear the key to winning March Madness is how well teams can adjust to the unique styles of play they're going to come up against, right? Like a Big 12 team is going to play a lot different than an SEC team,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to defensive schemes and tempos. I think Houston plays at a very high tempo, but doesn't have as good of a defensive team as, say, Florida or Duke does, that also play at a very high tempo, but have a better defensive scheme. And Duke also has Cooper Flag. And I want to ask you guys your opinion on, do we think the best player in college basketball is going to be able to carry a team to a championship just coming off an injury? He looks good. He looks very good in the tournament. But can he play all these games back to back just coming off an ankle injury?
I'm gonna
Well,
I'm
what
gonna
type of injury is it?
Just an ankle sprain, like it wasn't anything crazy.
no
If he
Kevin Ware
can't, he a
injury.
pussy ass.
I'm gonna say no because I've been saying it all along. Like Houston is just gonna win. It was from that first game all the way to now. They have just dominated. I don't think they've really struggled a whole lot throughout this tournament, and it's just been really obvious that they are gonna win this tournament. I don't really think that Duke. I think Duke may give them a run for their money. I think this will be their toughest competition, but I think that in the end that injury is gonna bug Duke. It's gonna bug them in the you know second half in the final minutes, and Houston's gonna end up running all over them. I think that defense is gonna really wear him down and make him insignificant there in the end.
Mm,
I think that's a
mm,
pretty hot take, just given the
mm.
fact that Duke is a 4.5 point favorite in this game. That's a pretty significant spread. I mean, it's not like crazy, right? But like it's more than
Right.
like a last minute play.
The fuck is
Um,
4.5 point spread? What the fuck does that mean?
so
He's
Duke
gonna
is
win by four
favored to
points.
win by 5 or more points, but you can't
Mm-hmm.
say five
Okay.
because then the bet is mute.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, looking at these scores, like I got the bracket up right now. And looking at these scores, Houston blew out that first team they played. I mean, it was a 1 versus 16, but they won by nearly double the other team's points. The next game, they only beat Gonzaga by 5, and then they only beat Purdue by 2. They did blow out Tennessee in a 19-point win. But also
19.
looking at the scores that Duke has had, right? Duke blew out Mount St. Mary's. Duke blew out Baylor. Duke beat Arizona by 7, and Duke beat Alabama by 20. Now, Houston also beat Tennessee by 19, so that's still a 1 versus 2 with a big win. But I think this is going to be a very close game, and I think I have Houston winning in my bracket, and I think Duke is going to be the ones that pull it off. I think I was riding the Houston train from last year when I filled out my bracket, but I think Duke is just significantly better after watching them a little bit. Tyler, I know you're not as educated on this, but please give us your prediction based on what you've heard us say.
My prediction. What are the teams again? Duke,
Duke
Duke,
Houston.
versus
Duke,
Houston.
Duke and Houston are the first game. We'll talk about the other game next.
Um, I mean, if I'm gonna be real, based off what I've heard y'all say, it sounds like it's gonna be a good game. Um, but I'm a massive stickler for the underdog, given that like I just think, who doesn't love an underdog story? And I know how massive Duke is. And the only reason I push a little bit more for Duke is because one of my good buddies went to Duke. Um, so I'll say it's going to be a close game. Duke is going to win by 2. And then what's the other game?
The other game is Auburn, Florida, right? And I think the biggest thing leaning towards Florida is based on the historical trends, like the ridiculous things people put together on TikTok, right?
Right.
Florida
Seven
was the
foot
team.
freshman.
Florida was the team that met all of those trends. They had
Yeah.
won a championship within the last 20 years. They had won a certain amount of games in their conference. They won their regional tournament, or
Mhm.
uh,
The SEC
not
tournament,
regional, the SEC tournament. They
conference
won.
tournament.
Yeah, they have a certain tempo to offensive rating to defensive rating. They were the only team that matched all of those.
Mhm.
So I think if you're going strictly off statistics and like superstition, they're the team to go with. Uh, I don't know too much about this Auburn team. I'm going to be honest. I think they're one that like is rated number 1 and they're pretty good, but also like that could have been somebody else. They have been pretty dominant in the tournament so far. Michigan State put up a good fight and a good 1 or 2 battle, but I don't think that Michigan State team is as good as the Texas Tech team that Florida beat. I'm going to go with Florida to win that game in the Final Four to give the final that I'm predicting to be Florida and Duke.
I think I would agree. I like Bruce Pearl. I think that he's a hell of a coach. I mean, how long has he been with Auburn? Has he been with Auburn with like for like the past 10 years or something, I believe, right? Um, and he's come so close a bunch of different times, and I think he's kind of that like we're doing this kind of the right way type of play, which I like. I like to see in Auburn in an SEC team in college basketball with all these changes. He's kind of steered that ship and kept it. You know, we're gonna win. We're gonna do it the right way. We're not gonna get all these brand deals. We're not gonna
Hmm.
buy our way to a championship. We're gonna win with talent and integrity. I really like that. However, I do think that college basketball is changing, and I do think that Florida is the new and Auburn's the old, and I think the new is just gonna beat the old. Um, and it hurts to say just because I like Bruce Pearl as a coach, but I think Florida's got this in the bag. I've always said it. Florida's going to win the championship. Like I do think that they've had a harder time in this March Madness. I think their what was it their UConn game where they lost by or they won by 2, but UConn was winning that game in the final 4 minutes.
Hmm.
UConn was up, and then Florida um, clawed their way back and was able to win by 2. They have not been dominant, as people have been saying, and as the statistics have been saying throughout this tournament. But you know, I can't root against the SEC. It's in my blood. It just means more. And
It's in his blood.
frankly, I was hoping for a Florida, Auburn, Tennessee, Alabama Final Four, but we can't all be rattlesnakes. So I got to go with Florida as my champion, though. And I think Florida Duke. I could see Florida Duke being in the Final Four or final
As
game.
you've always said, you do think Duke is going to win the championship.
Yeah, Duke is obviously going to win. They have been the best team all year, really. They have not slowed down at all, and this tournament's really in March. Really, only they found their second wind. And so they're just gonna. I just think it's no surprise that all number ones are in the Final Four, but Duke is clearly the best out of all four, and they're just gonna breeze to another championship.
So, really fast, I'd like to confirm my understanding. When you say all of the number ones are going to the Final Four, does that mean in each conference, the number one team is the team that is going to the Final Four?
Yep, all of the 4 number 1 seeded teams are the teams left. So a number 1 seed will win the tournament because there are only number 1 seeds left.
That's
Mhm.
crazy. That's crazy. But on the topic of Auburn versus Florida, I personally think it's got to be Auburn. I know y'all have seen that video of the football where I think it was Alabama kicked a
Auburn's going
fucking
to win the
field goal.
football game.
Okay,
Auburn's gonna win the football game. And I
The
just
kick
want to see that
six.
happen again, bro. Oh my god, I just want to see that happen again. I do not care for football in the slightest, but I remember watching that shit live with you and Dad West.
It was
We
electric.
hate Alabama.
Yeah,
It
facts.
was
No,
electric.
that was tough. That was
It
tough.
was electric.
The kick six is
the
It was
the one. It's
insane.
probably the best college play I've ever seen. And
Yeah, it was insane.
I would submit it as the best college play of all time in any sport.
oh yeah.
It was insane. It was insane.
Ala-
So just because of that, I gotta go Auburn.
Alabama's weakness has always been kickers in football. I feel like they've never had a good kicker. But no, I think they're going to carry that kick six miracle juice that they got into the tournament and into the finals. I've always said that Auburn's going to win the national championship. I've said it since day one, and that they're a well-rounded team. Yeah, they kind of Michigan State gave a run for their money, but they were able to beat them in the Elite Eight, and I think that kind of shows that their resilience, their toughness, their ability to fight those hard battles. I mean, that probably, other than Florida this coming week, that probably was their toughest test,
Mhm.
and they were able to climb that mountain. And they're going to beat Florida, which is probably the best team in the tournament. But I think they can do it. I think they can make Charles Barkley proud, and then they're going to go on and probably beat whoever Houston or Duke, whoever wins that game, because it doesn't really matter.
Uh-huh.
Because once they beat Florida, they beat the best team in the tournament. They are now that best team. Nobody's going to slow Auburn down. They're going to win national championship 86 to 74.
And he's been saying it from the
Whoa.
start. And he's been
He's been
saying it from the
saying it from
start.
the
Yeah,
very
saying it from
beginning.
the start. Like
And
you
it's
can't
like
not.
he said it loud and clear. I mean, that's how we started this episode.
Look, he was even so confident that he said it with a score.
Mm-hmm.
Going into the finals, I think the finals that I predicted was Duke and Florida. From those two teams, I'm just gonna have to go with my gut instinct. I think Duke's gonna do it. I think Cooper Flag is gonna carry them. And then I think Cooper Flag is gonna go number one in the draft. But I think if Cooper Flag is smart, he could probably just stay in college basketball and make more money off his NIL deals than he could by going to the NBA. I would like to see him into college basketball another couple of years because who's he going to go to? The fucking Wizards and ruin his
Probably.
career? No, like we saw it happen to Zion going to New Orleans. I don't want to see the same thing happen to this kid. The kid from Maine, the kid with a dream. He's going to win this national championship, and he's going to stay at Duke and do it again next year. He's going to want to beat UConn's record and get the three-peat.
It's gonna be so hard being in that like position of like, hey, like, do you want to come to like the big leagues? Like, we want you here, but you know damn well that like probably is not the best for you at this time. But like, how can you say no?
You can say no because NIL is paying you more money than your rookie contract is going to be.
No,
You
I
also
know that, motherfucker. I know that. But when you are finishing out college, not even, what is he, 18, 19, 20?
The kid's a freshman.
yeah,
He's a
kids a
freshman.
true freshman.
He's a freshman, and the first year of freshman, dude, I will never forget the feeling I got when I made varsity as a freshman in fucking high school. Imagine being the star player for like the best basketball school in the nation, and you're gonna want to go further. You know what I mean? Like you want to say, "Oh, I signed as a sophomore in college to the fucking NBA." So I feel like I don't know. It's got to be difficult to make that decision.
No, I agree, but I also think it's a bit of a flex for him to say I was projected number one my freshman year, decided not to go, then I was projected number one again my sophomore year.
I could
Mm-hmm.
not agree more. That'd be hard as fuck.
It's also a risk though, because what if he gets injured?
Mm-hmm.
It is, and then maybe your stock goes down. But I think if I'm a college basketball player, I would rather have my injury happen while I was in college so I
I,
can come back and prove myself against weaker competition
mm-hmm.
than go to the NBA, get injured your first season, then have to prove yourself against the best of the best on a really terrible team, right? Like, say he got injured next year, he comes back his junior year, he gets to prove himself. He's still on Duke.
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah.
still gonna be the star player on one of the best teams in college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
He'll prove himself.
And
Yeah.
even then, like if you're if you're a projected number one player, you are probably going to get drafted regardless. It's
Oh
not like
yeah.
you're fighting for unless you completely tank. But like even if you are a shell of the person you once were as when you were projected number one, you're still going to get
Somebody will pick you
drafted.
up. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, somebody will pick you up. And I think that's honestly kind of better because then you can go to a better team.
Yeah.
He could go to the Lakers. He could go to Denver. He could go to a team that has leaders and can develop him. Because like I feel like if you're in that position, your goal should be I want to be the best basketball player in the world. Well, how am I going to do that? Am I going to, you know, do it on my own, kind of like Michael Jordan did, where he was on a team of duds and he had to just do his own thing and bring everyone else better around him? Or can you take like kind of like that Tom Brady route where you get drafted in the sixth round and now you're being coached by the greatest coach ever and have
Mm-hmm.
a great mentor in Drew Bledsoe coaching you, and then you can step up and prove yourself, having that opportunity. So two different paths, just what are you going to do to achieve your goal?
I mean,
No,
how
I
many years did my Lord and Savior, my goat LeBron, stay in college basketball? Do you
he
know?
didn't play in college. That was
Zero.
that
He
was
went straight
before
from
they
high
had the
school.
rule that you had to play in college.
Mm-hmm. He
I
went
think
straight
it
from
was
high
like
school.
My
2010.
goat.
They made
My
a
Yeah.
rule
goat.
where
What?
like you had to go to college. I think for basketball it's 1 year. For football
It's
it's
1 year.
3 years, right?
It's 3. Yeah, you have to be there. You have to be at least a junior
Yeah,
to
which is
go
crazy because
declare
like
for the
say
draft.
you're somebody like what was the kid's name? I was talking about the wide receiver at Alabama, the one that's just ridiculously good. No, the wide receiver at Ohio State.
No idea.
Worthy, I think is his name.
No idea.
That sounds familiar. Hang on.
I don't know. Look it up.
Is he a baller though? Is that what you're getting at?
He's number one on Ohio State. Jeremiah Smith,
Um.
that's his name.
Hmm.
Who the fuck did you get Worthy?
Dude, there he was. I think Worthy played for Alabama for a few years, but yeah, Jeremiah Smith, genuinely one of the best talents I think I've ever played in college football. He's probably not going to go off as much his next 2 years because he's not going to want to get injured because he knows he's going to get drafted when he becomes a junior.
Yeah.
Football, I think injuries have a lot more impact on because you get one like bad head injury, you could get told you're never playing again.
I
Yeah.
mean, let's talk about Tua, bruh. Motherfucker.
Well, yeah, I mean, he should be listening to more people and ending his career, but
I was at his I mean, when he was at Alabama, they were playing Mississippi State, and we shattered his leg. Like, I saw that injury, the brutal leg
Hmm.
injury that he sustained in college, where his leg bent in half and nobody ever thought he was going to walk again. Like, that was a rough injury to watch in person. And I was like, God,
Hmm.
I was like hoping he made a comeback. And thank God he did. But damn, that guy
Did
is
you go to
very
Mississippi
accident.
State?
Hmm. Hail State, clang
Damn,
clanger.
did not know that.
Hmm.
I feel like I knew that, but I forget that.
Oh yeah, I'm a bulldog for life. Praise the Lord and go dogs.
So is Beyond, bruh.
Hmm.
beyond.
We're fraternity brothers, chapter brothers even.
After Brothers. No, I feel like, I mean,
Hmm.
in terms of the basketball, back to that, I would say I think I gotta give it to Duke. I think Duke is gonna win. And I think they're gonna win by 2 points in the second overtime.
2 point.
Ooh,
Wow, that's a bold prediction. Yeah, I want to
second
hear.
overtime.
Before we hop off, I want to hear final scores. This will be the last thing we do. So,
I guess if they're
so
going in second overtime, I'll say Duke and who else did I have winning? Houston, I think. No, Duke
it
and
was
Auburn.
Duke and Auburn. Yeah,
Duke and Auburn. And I would say, I mean, I don't really know what scores look like that late in the game for a second overtime, so I'll go 98, 100.
I think that's valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
For
going
a second
Duke over
overtime, it feels.
Florida. I'm going Duke over Florida. I've said it all along. I think Duke's going to win. I'm going to say Duke is going to win it in regulation, and it's going to be 88-7 to 83. Like it's going to be close, but I think Duke is just going to pull it out in the free throws in the end.
I think that's fair. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Florida. Florida over Duke. Um, I've said it since day one. Um,
Stay on.
and honestly, I think it's gonna be a defensive heavy game. That or it's just brick city. So I'm gonna say the final score is gonna be like 78 to like 73, 72.
Okay.
I think that's gonna be my final prediction. I don't think people are gonna chalk a whole lot of glass or a lot of splash up there. So I think it's gonna be
My prediction might be very high though.
well,
No,
yeah,
but
there you
I
go.
don't
you're also
know.
saying double overtime though.
Yeah,
You have to
double
assume
overtime is
every
that.
overtime's an extra 10 points or something.
Hmm. So that's a
Okay,
very
it
At
fair
feels a little more
least.
prediction.
rational.
Yeah.
98,
Double
100 feels more
overtime.
rational.
Like I would say 98's even kind of low for guessing a double overtime score.
Oh
Double overtime,
God.
2 points. Duke's got it. I'm telling you.
No, I believe you.
Well,
All
I've
right,
greatly enjoyed
fellas.
this conversation, boys. Like I said, I don't
Hmm.
know shit about sports, but I feel included here, guys. I see
Oh
why
yeah.
people like talking about sports. I feel
Yeah, I'm
included.
not gonna lie. I feel like I came into this conversation knowing less than I do now, and I didn't even do any research. I literally just used ChatGPT to give me things to make it seem like I knew what I was talking
No.
about.
That's
So
amazing.
What?
Are you a fake?
I'm a fraud.
Are
Fraud.
you a fake fan?
Nurse. Nurse. He's out again.
Shout
You
out
don't actually think
OpenAI.
about this every second of your day? What?
No, I have a job.
What?
Oh.
Why would you ever do
Ooh,
that? That's yucky.
because I don't have NIL deals to make money off of. That's
Not
I
yet.
why.
fucking wish, dude. That'd be so
Not
lit.
yet. You can always
Not yet.
reapply to
Hey,
college. You
with
can
the way
always
you're talking right
reapply.
now, man, keep up that chat GPT.
Hey, bro, I don't know. I don't know what I'd be going back to college to get an NIL for.
NIL
But
degree.
I am an academic weapon. So
He
if
is. He
anybody
is an
wants to
academic
sponsor,
weapon.
if anybody wants to sponsor a 4.0 grad student, hit me
He
up.
is an absolute menace when it comes to school.
Hell yeah, I'll get my master's just to get an NIL deal.
Imagine finishing school. Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you, gents. For all those who decided to stick till now and listen about, we appreciate your ears. They look wonderful. I'm glad they're here. Uh, Thanks for joining. Hope you cured your sweet tooth here at the candy shop. See you soon.